again in the NFL. The NFL.com put together their head coach power rankings for the 2016 season. No surprise at the top, Bill Belichick, followed by Pete Carroll, then Mike McCarthy, Mike Tomlin, and then Bruce Arians at number 5. But the question now is, who are your top 3 NFL head coaches, starting with you, Freddie?
Oh, Bill Belichick, I don't think there's any doubt about that. He's going to retire that award at the rate the New England Patriots are going. And he's a Mount Rushmore coach, one of those four greatest coaches in the history of the National Football League. I got him at number 1. I love what Bruce Arians has done with the Arizona Cardinals. Think about this, what he was able to do with the Indianapolis Colts. Chuck Pagano has leukemia. He has to step in. They win a division title. He gets that team to the playoffs. Parlays that with the Arizona Cardinals. They didn't have Carson Palmer the season before. He got them to the playoffs. And I know everybody had the final memory of what happened last year in the NFC Championship game. But he can coach. He is a leader of men. I love his demeanor. He's a celebrity as far as I'm concerned. He's the best thing about the Arizona Cardinals.
Plus, he has the Kango hat.
The Kango hats. You know that? Samuel Jackson and I salute to Bruce Arians when it comes to that. So I got him at number 2. And Pete Carroll at number 3 for Seattle, because it's one thing to be a terrific head coach, and I know he is, but he's a really terrific talent evaluator. Look at the guys he's been able to find that people missed on. Richard Sherman, for example. People thought he overdrafted Russell Wilson. They lose Marshawn Lynch. Rawls steps in. He's able to make a difference at running back. So they'll lose pieces, because when you're that terrific, people want to take what you have. But that train is not going to stop. Pete Carroll and John Schneider together have been terrific. But his evaluation, the way he coaches up people, I got Pete Carroll at number 3.
I'm going to go with Belichick number 1. Can't doubt the hoodie, even if you want to say Spygate, Deflategate, all that stuff to take away from his legacy. But you cannot deny how much he's won, what he's done there, and also how he builds these teams. He basically has given a blueprint for so many people that they've tried to copy the Patriot way, and it doesn't always work everywhere, but he makes it work. Number 2, I'm going to go with Pete Carroll. I love the way he's able to basically relate to his players. He wins. And granted, he had that one moment where he tried to be like Wile E. Coyote and go the Acme route and try to win. And instead, he should have just gave the ball to Marshawn Lynch, and he would have had another Super Bowl. But I got Pete Carroll, too. Now, 3 was a real struggle for me, because I love Mike McCarthy. And I know Mike McCarthy beat Mike Tomlin head-to-head in the Super Bowl, but I got Mike Tomlin, Omar Epps at number 3. I think Mike Tomlin, if he had a healthy Le'Veon Bell, another one of my Spartans, okay?
And Antonio Brown in that playoff game.
Yeah, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers would have won more games last year, and maybe even the year before, because Le'Veon has been injured. I'd like to see what he can do with healthy Le'Veon, and I know he's got Ben Roethlisberger, but I do like what Mike Tomlin's done. I put Mike Tomlin just above Mike McCarthy at 3.
All right, a few things before we reveal my list, and that is when you look at the top coaches that was in that article, Bill Belichick, who's his quarterback? Tom Brady. Pete Carroll, who's his quarterback? Russell Wilson. McCarthy, who's his quarterback? Aaron Rodgers, right? And Tomlin, who's his quarterback? Big Ben. In this NFL, for you to have success as a head coach, you need to align yourself with a stud quarterback. So what I did before we reveal my list, because I know Twitter's about to blow up, okay? What I did is I went around the NFL and I put together a list of some coaches that I think are flying low under the radar, who I think are some of the top coaches in the NFL that don't necessarily have that stud quarterback. So now let's reveal the list. Let's not look at the photograph, because
well, we can't brush over your hair.
Hair.
Come on, ESPN.
Apparently, figuratively, we cannot brush over her hair.
Very
Work
80s.
it, girl.
Very
Work it, flip it and move.
Bring that back.
Anyway.
Man, Tawny Contain is upset.
So I went with Bruce Arians. I love his personality. If there is a team in the NFL that really exudes their head coach's personality, it is the Arizona Cardinals. So I really love Bruce Arians. And another thing is, let's define what makes a great head coach, right? A great head coach, to me, a leader, an absolute leader, a leader of men that are going to follow. He's honest with his players trust him, they play hard for him, he gets the best out of them, and they manage. They have to manage, because really at the end of the day, it's your offensive coordinator, it's your defensive coordinator that are really calling the plays and the X's and O's on the football field. Number 2, don't freak out, it's Hugh Jackson. Mark my words. He made Andy Dalton into a candidate for a potential MVP candidate for this last season. And I really think that the Cincinnati Bengals offense is going to take a really big hit with him not being there.
And he got screwed in Oakland after 1 year.
Big time.
He's good.
I covered the Ravens when he was the quarterback coach. He was a leader of those men as a quarterback coach. Then in Cincinnati, when you talk to guys in and around the NFL, they love Hugh Jackson. They want to play for him. They want a ball. They want to leave it all on the field for Hugh Jackson. And that is what makes a great head coach. And last but not least, got to give some love to Mike Zimmer. I think that, again, another great leader of men. What quarterback does he have? Teddy Bridgewater. I'm hoping bigger and better things for him this year. But this is a guy that makes, also with Zimmer, one thing you see is he makes players better, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So, again, just throwing out 3 coaches that I feel are excellent coaches in the NFL that don't get as much love and don't get as much respect because, unfortunately, they don't have those top-tier quarterbacks. You can make an argument for Carson Palmer and Bruce Arians, but Carson Palmer, he's going to be gone soon. It'll be interesting to see how much success Bruce Arians has in the NFL once Carson Palmer is gone.
Twitter Popo is going to attack you.
I'm ready.
But listen, Hugh could be the only guy that could actually be bigger than LeBron James if he somehow manages to win with the Cleveland Browns.
What? Man, now Twitter's going to be mad at you.
Think about it. If he turns the Browns around with RG3,
believe me, before LeBron got there, that was a Browns city. It's still, in certain places, it's still a Browns city. They've been dying for this in Cleveland, for the Browns. If that happens, Cleveland would literally burn. Seriously. Literally, it would burn. That's too much. The Indians have won 13 in a row. They haven't lost since Cleveland won the NBA championship. Exactly. They barely handled Drew Carey. They can't handle all of this. Come on now.
They're going to change the end to Believe Land again. Maybe. I don't know.
Well
I did love Hugh Jackson in Hard Knocks. It was fantastic. Coming up, we're going to react to the day in NBA free agency. It's been wild. A lot of big dollars been thrown out all over the place. We'll recap the morning. Who's getting paid next? NBA free agency is underway. DeMar DeRozan, 5 years, $145 million. Actually, that was just changed from $139. You got Bradley Beal, 5 years, $128. Andre Drummond, 5 years, $128. This is ridiculous. Nicholas Batum, 5 years, $120. Hassan Whiteside, 4 years, $98 million. Timothy Mozgov, 4 years, $64 million. Jeremy Lin, a bargain at 3 years, $36 million. We've got DJ Augustine, 4 years, $29 million with Orlando. I mean, what's your reaction to free agency at this point, to sum up the day, Anita?
Again, because of the TV deal money and the salary cap, I think this is what is expected. We're paying a lot more money for less talent. But I'm sitting back right now and I'm saying, Kevin Durant is in the Hamptons meeting with 5 teams and not one of them is the Knicks? Like,
weekend at KD's.
That's what I'm going to be thinking about this weekend.
Put some respect on Timothy Mozgov's name because he's finally above the law, Chowster, okay?
Like Steven Seagal?
Hey, I think we're going to see even more insane contracts come up for very low role players, bit players, and I think the contracts are going to get even more outrageous.
If you can play, you're going to get paid. If you can't play, you're going to get paid. If you're injured, you're going to get paid in this day and age in the NBA because you have to spend that money. And any owner, if they even are sold on the fact that this player is going to help us, they're going to let that cash flow out of their pockets and into the bank accounts of players. This may be the new NBA, but that old money is turning into new money and is doing it a lot quicker than anybody could have imagined.
I'm not going to spell respect with a K.
Respect.
R-E-S-P-E-K.
Next to Timothy Mozgov? I don't think so. We're running out of time. You want a New Jack City quote to end the show?
Rockabye, baby.
All right. That works, actually. Anita Marks, Om Young-Masuk, Freddie Coleman, I'm Kerry Chow.
Y'all got nothing to say?
Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful 4th of July weekend.
Safe 4th of July.
We out of here.
Safe.
Ciao.
Barbecue in the house.
No surprise, LeBron James opted out of his deal with the Cavs to become a free agent this summer. LeBron has said he has no plans to leave Cleveland, but how much will it cost the Cavs to keep the king happy? Let's take a look at the highest paid athletes in the world in each sport. In soccer, Cristiano Ronaldo making $53 million a year.
Wow.
Zach Greinke in baseball at $34 million. And right now, how about that? DeMar DeRozan at $28 million. The question
that will
now
change.
Is, yeah, exactly. How much is LeBron James worth? Oh, we'll start with you.
In the New Jack NBA?
New Jack.
I would say $100 million, more. Look, the guy guarantees you to get to the NBA Finals. What is that worth to you, to any owner that wants to win, right? On top of that, he sells out crowds. He sells out buildings. He's polarizing, right? No matter what you have, you either love him or you hate him. but he does get his team to the NBA Finals. And when he gets there, it matters. People wonder what he's going to do, what he's wearing. I mean, look, LeBron the other day was seen wearing some shirt, right? It says "Good to be Bron" or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? People are talking about that. Or
on that yacht.
Or he wears the,
out,
the
out
Ultimate Warrior shirt. He wears the Ultimate Warrior shirt, and he's trolling the Warriors, and he has a little hat with Kermit sipping the tea, right? We care about what LeBron says. That, to me, is currency that you can't pay for. It's priceless currency. So if you want your team to matter, you want your team to win, yeah, I think LeBron is worth more. And look, I think after next year, if he signs another one-year deal, he's supposed to make like, what, $26 million, $27 million. After that, he might be able to sign a 6-year deal worth $240 or $230 million. And in today's NBA, like if you were to think if Michael Jordan were playing today, and Michael Jordan, when he played, Michael, I think, and Kobe are the only ones ever to make $30 million or more in one season. Michael would be worth an insane amount. And so LeBron is probably not, I'm not comparing their games, but I'm talking about marketing-wise and impact and everything that he brings. He probably has the same type of draw that Michael had.
Going back to the point I made a few segments ago and talking about the TV deal that the NBA has in place, right? Was it... I know 9 years. 9 years, $24 billion. And going back to this NBA championship, the highest viewed, the highest watched NBA championship ever in the history of the NBA. Not to take anything away from Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. They were such a great storyline all season long. But let's face it, at the end of the day, it's LeBron. Look around our wide world of sport, and there's only a few players, a few athletes that I feel that demand that type of attention and that type of viewership. Tiger, right? I mean, let's face it, Sunday in red, walking down 18, we were all watching. Alex Rodriguez, if you recall, at some point in time, kind of like that polarizing figure, especially when he first went to the Yankees. I mean, that was a big draw for the Yes Network.
A-God?
and then let's go to individual sports. I mean, look how much money we pay to watch Floyd Mayweather and Ronda Rousey fight.
Or Serena Williams in tennis.
Exactly. So he is that. You have to put him in that caliber. So listen, I think whatever team he plays for, whether it's Cleveland, you pay him the $100 million, whatever he wants. You pay him because he is worth it. His jersey, one of the highest-selling jerseys in the NBA. You're right, he tours around, he goes to different NBA arenas, and everybody comes out to see him. But at the end of the day, in regard to the TV dealership, and that's where all this money is coming from, God bless LeBron James. And all these guys that are making all this money in the NBA, give LeBron a percentage, because he's such a huge reason why these NBA TV deals are what they are, because the ratings are so high, because, as you said, love him or hate him, everybody wants to tune into LeBron James, and that's why the ratings are where they're at.
I'm going to throw this number out there, and it's going to sound completely crazy, maybe because it is. LeBron is worth $515 million.
How'd you come up with that number?
Since 2014, the Cavs franchise has doubled to $1.1 billion. In 2 years that he came back to Cleveland, they have gone from $515 million to $1.1 billion worth as a franchise.
Wow.
He's never going to see that kind of money. We clearly understand it. Even though he's vice president of the NBA union, and they can opt out of the CBA after December 15th because they have that over 36 rule that a player in the final year of his contract, if he's 36, they can't make that kind of money. They can't, for example, prevents players from getting a 4 or 5 year max that will be 36 years of age in the final deal. LeBron's 31 years of age. But I saw that number. Since 2014, in 2 years that he's been in Cleveland, the Cavs franchise has gone from $515 million as worth of a franchise to $1.1 billion. He's worth over $500 million just to one franchise in the NBA. Can you even imagine exponentially how much that is to the rest of the NBA? The kind of money that he is helping to put into the pockets of every single owner in the NBA. And this is not being on LeBron's jock. The facts tell me that everybody else is on the jock of LeBron James based on what he did for Cleveland. Cleveland was a basketball wasteland. The 4 years he went to Miami. I mean, my dad said, man, I didn't know Kyrie Irving was this good. I said, yeah, he wasn't on TV for 4 years because LeBron was in Miami and nobody knew how good he was. LeBron goes back to Cleveland. Everything changed. You don't think Dan Gilbert is thanking his lucky stars that LeBron James had the heart that he had? Because most other people have been like, you know, Dan Gilbert, you said that about me. You put that out there. Coming back to play for your behind, I'm not doing it. LeBron said Northeast Ohio, Akron and Cleveland means a lot more to me than worrying about you. He has literally made Dan Gilbert a richer man. That's the kind of money LeBron James is worth, not just to Cleveland, but to the NBA.
And look, obviously, they have David Griffin, but who's really calling the shots in Cleveland? It's LeBron.
It's LeBron.
Right?
You got to make him happy.
David Blatt didn't survive. Tyronn Lue was basically LeBron's guy, right? LeBron's got to sign off on all these guys that he wants, the players that he wants on that roster, and it worked. How much is a championship worth in Cleveland?
Every penny.
Yeah, it's probably worth $1 billion, right? So LeBron brought them a championship that nobody ever thought was possible. You probably have to give him what, and in today's NBA, he's probably worth, like I said, it's not outlandish to say $100 million.
When LeBron first went back to Cleveland, there was an article, I think it was by Forbes, that said his value to the city of Cleveland was at $500 million, was $500 million. That was when he first went back to Cleveland, didn't even have a championship. I will give you a fun stat. $40 million a year over 82 games a season at 40 minutes per game, pretty detailed, equals over $200 a second. That's what LeBron
He's not even
James,
going to play 40 minutes a game, not for an entire season.
That's true.
Yeah, he'll play like
Thanks for getting
34.
meticulous on that stat.
So which means
you brought meticulous numbers to the table. Now you get mad at him.
I know.
So now Ohm's the bad guy. Ohm's the bad guy now.
You know what? You're one of the Asians. You're supposed to be good at math here, Chowster.
Oh, really?
Okay.
We're doing that now?
That's all true. It's all true.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, we have more of that on our podcast, Fresh Off the Bench. I digress.
Oh, then we segue into that now.
We're the only two Asians not good at math.
Perfect
basically.
point. That's true. Prim Sareppapat as well. Now that the wheels have gone,
let's just set every stereotype out here now.
Yeah.
Black people can dance. Let's do that whole thing now.
Almost as bad as the Mets?
Coming up
I'm sorry, too
on
soon.
the show, Bill Belichick and Tom Brady have won 4 rings together. Does that make Belichick the best?